Hello. My topic today was going to be on San Francisco, or as I aptly now refer to it as Mad Maxisco. But as I was doing some research, I saw a pattern forming, so I'm going to add to my topic to include mayors. Yes, mayors. Mayors like the ones we have in every city. Now, mayors in most cities have a tremendous amount of power. The mayors of our cities have much more power over us than the President of the United States because decisions that your local mayors and city councils make will affect you and your neighbors 1,000 times more than a president. After doing just a little bit of research on Mad Mexico, my only thought was San Francisco. Do people want to join the rest of us in the United States? What the fuck has happened to this beautiful, beautiful city? I am not joking when I say they need to call in the National Guard immediately. Your mayor and city council have to be thrown into jail, along with your previous mayor and city council members. What is it going to take for the citizens of that city to say enough is enough? Now, look, I understand I don't live there, and if that's how you like your city to be, then I digress. However, if the federal government gives that city $1, there should be an uprising. What an absolute fucking disgrace it's become. And any of you in San Francisco, including your family and friends of every politician in San Francisco, are morons. So, I just have one question for every able bodied person in San Francisco and surrounding communities. Do you think what's going on in your city is working? Your city has become a disgrace. Your leaders are a disgrace. And anyone who voted for any of these current politicians are a fucking disgrace. When you leave the shithole of San Fran, as anybody with a lick of common sense should do, whatever city you choose to move to, you should have to register that you came from San Francisco, and you should not be allowed to vote or even get within 50 yards of a polling station for at least 5 years. Maybe have to take a class on intervention or deprogramming. Now, I don't fully blame mayors in these cities because for even how dumb and habitual liars they are, they know they can't run on a platform of, well, we have a plan to destroy our city. But what's worse is the same morons who keep voting for the same agendas. How fucking dumb are the constituents of these cities who continue to vote for the same parties while they watch their cities being destroyed? Again, do you think what you're doing or what your mayor and city council is doing is working? How many lives and how much destruction is needed until enough is enough? Mayors, the federal government has not passed a law or has sent a directive to defund the police, just been the mayors. No governors of states have passed a law or sent a directive to any city to defund the police. Mayors and city councils, your neighbors, are the morons who have passed these laws. In my opinion, defunding the police is simply the dumbest, most moronic, and idiotic idea in the history of safety, security, and common sense in any city in the U.S. The dumbest by a fucking landslide. In what universe is some dumbass allowed to be a mayor of a city on that platform? Outside of criminals voting for defunding the police, what on earth would make any sane voter think this is a good idea? This is just mind-boggling to me for how ridiculous it is. If you live in a city that's defunded the police, you should be forced to stay there for 100 years. Also, that money from defunding the police, what's it being used for? I assume the constituents from these defunded cities are receiving money back from the extra dollars that were obviously lowered from defunding the police. Hey, San Francisco residents, please let me know how much more money you're receiving back on your taxes from defunding the police, and is it worth it? I mean, your police department is currently only understaffed by 562 officers. From the years 2020 to 2022, you had 65,000 residents leave. I think I kind of get it now. It's a brilliant idea, San Francisco. Drive out all your citizens and you'll need less police. I'm not even going to bring up the crime stats of these cities. Anyways, San Francisco can certainly get out of this mess. Firstly, and I mean quickly, by impeaching the mayor and all city council members and bringing in someone competent who can clean up the fucking mess of that once great city out west. Now, how are these cities staying consistent with crime, companies leaving, etc.? I'll give you a couple of reasons. Let's start with who's consistently voting for this bullshit. When Biden stated, quote, "Of course you should vote for me because you're black," was probably the most racist and insulting comment I've ever heard from a politician, ever. You should vote for a party because of your skin color, Joe, and Democrats. To me, there is nothing he has said and done since he's been in office that is more insulting than that. Nothing. And let's face it, he certainly isn't the most competent guy you'll see in politics. Regardless, I truly do not understand how every black person on the planet wasn't insulted with that comment. Biden's one dumbass ignorant statement was just dismissed. I mean, it played out for a couple of days, but it didn't get the attention anywhere near what I think it should have gotten. I mean, what on earth has the Democratic Party done to earn on any level of voting for Congress, governors, mayors, etc., that they vote without dissension? I mean, what? Point to it. What is it? It just baffles me. I used to be pretty involved in politics for many years. Not like I was personally getting involved in someone's campaign. I just followed it daily. I stopped it about 5 or so years ago, but every once in a while, I'll see something and I'll research it. Now, people vote in different ways. I vote for basically who's aligned with three issues that's important to me. But we vote as individuals. Well, except black people. Again, and I didn't. Anyways, in the 2020 election, blacks voted based on Pew's research number. It was 92% for Biden. 92%. I really thought it was a misprint, so I went to another site to double check. Anyways, so for the 92% who voted for Biden, what have you received so far in your mind? What do you think you're going to get from it, or have received from it? I mean, if I thought 65% of the blacks voted for Biden, I'd have been blown away. It's just a very, very large voting bloc, and again, I mean, besides from Biden, it's been basically the same voting bloc for years. Let's say 50 years. In that 50 years, what have you gotten from it? So 9.2 out of 10 of you are obviously very happy with your socioeconomic situation, the security of your neighborhoods, the education in your neighborhoods. So, I mean, it makes sense. Of the 92% who voted for Biden, I assume you vote the same way in your local elections, right? Again, so tell me, how's your city doing? I'm sure you know those elected officials that don't and aren't trying to appease you, the black voters, because they don't need to. They already have you. So please enlighten me. What has your straight ticket vote gotten you? Does an extreme majority of blacks live off the government's tit and feel like all their benefits will be gone? Because that would never be affected by either party. So, I mean, you're voting the same way, and trust me, it's the same with my fellow Jews. But anyways, from the Pew Research, there's 47.2 million blacks in the United States, which is a 30% increase over the year 2000. The median age is 33, which is young. U.S. median age is overall is 38. So you have around 33 million currently of voting age. Well, if you're black in one of these 33 million, you're in luck. You don't need to think about who you're going to vote for. You don't even have to earn a politician's vote. And you don't even have to participate in the greatest act a government has ever enacted, and that is voting itself. But you don't need to vote. It's already been cast. We have such a large voting bloc. This is what I don't get. I don't understand how you guys don't get together and start fucking using it, the power of that 33 million. I don't care what party you vote for, but start picking some candidates with some common sense. My gosh, look at these clowns you're electing and consistently electing. You have strength in numbers, and you're fucking up your neighbors and yourselves by electing these traitors, mayors, and city councils. Let me give you a little secret. Most people understand that when they're voting for a candidate who we hope will do the things that we want. And in turn, if the candidate wins from our support, he or she will reciprocate that by doing the things that we voted for. Unfortunately, for black voters, it's irrelevant what you want. It's irrelevant what you think. I don't know how long it's going to take all of you to understand this. Why would any candidate waste their time, effort, and resources in a voting block of people that they already have their vote? Let me break this down to you. We vote in many different ways. I vote for basically the candidate who I feel is the most aligned with a few issues that's important to me. A lot of people look to their politicians to provide them all these various things. I already understand at the federal level, politicians can't do shit. But at the local level, mayors and city councils, they can and have a lot of power. When you see candidates from every party answering every question with authority, no matter what the question is, you really believe that they're going to do what they say that they will do. They don't. Again, especially at the federal level. Actually, they can't do anything even close to what they promise or say. Just to give you an idea of my thought process on voting in the national election, I picked three things important to me and hope they are addressed favorably for me. Number one, Israel. I am certainly not a Trump apologist, but I can say with confidence he was the greatest presidential friend to Israel since Israel was founded. Number two, Economy. I try and pick someone who I best think will help the economy and who gets out of the way when it's running well. Um, you guys obviously look at nothing towards that um, because, I mean, you're voting for the same party. Number two, economy. I try and pick someone who I best think will help the economy and who gets out of the way when it's running well. And finally, three, security. I look for candidates who understand the U.S. must have the biggest, baddest, most technological military at all times. I'd ask any black person of voting age what are their three things they want the president to fulfill over their term, but it's irrelevant. There's no need. You don't need to watch any debates, fact check a politician, etc. For mayors and city councils, it's easy. I just pick a couple things. One, who will spend the least amount of money? Two, who will make sure that our police department, fire department, sanitation department, all levels of grade school to high school, etc., have what they need to run efficiently. Okay, let me finish by babbling with some irrefutable facts that I hope wakes you up a bit and it hopefully reinforces in your head that our various governments are all set up for you, me, the individual, to vote. So I simply typed into Google most dangerous cities in America to see if I could get a top 10 list. And I also typed in the worst cities in America. I just took the top 10 from each list that popped up. They then provide all the crime statistics and et cetera. So, I mean, they're all basically the same. So here is the top 10 from each list. I'll quickly read it. And if you see a pattern here, let me know. So, the top 10 list of worst cities in America. Number 10, Stockton, California. Stockton, California, they've had the last five mayors. The last three have been, they've had three Republicans and two Democrats mixed in out of their last five mayors. Number 9, Milwaukee. Last five mayors, all Democrats. Number 8, Albuquerque, New Mexico. Last five mayors, 4 Democrats, 1 Republican. Kansas City, Missouri. Last five were 5 Democrats. 6, Baltimore. Last five mayors, Democrats. Little Rock. Last five mayors, 4 Democrats, 1 Independent. Cleveland, Ohio. Last 4 mayors, Democrats. The 5th one left office in 1989. Number 3, St. Louis. Last 5 mayors, Democrats. Number 2, Detroit. Last 5 mayors, Democrats. Number 1, Memphis, Tennessee. Last 5 mayors, Democrats. Okay. Here's the list of the top 10, the most dangerous cities in America. And again, we'll see how the mayors shake out. Number 10, Little Rock. Number 9, Baton Rouge. They've had 3 Democrats and 2 Republicans as the last 5 mayors. Shreveport, Louisiana, 4 Democrats, 1 Republican. New Orleans, last 5 mayors were Democrats. And if I'm reading this right, it says the last Republican mayor in New Orleans was in 1872. That can't be right. Okay. Anyways, number 6 is Cleveland. Number 5 is Detroit. Number 4 is Memphis. Number 3 is Baltimore. Number 2 is Birmingham, Alabama. Last 5 mayors were Democrats. And number 1, and this is a back-to-back winner, St. Louis, Missouri. Most dangerous city in America. All right, I added a few more. I'll make this quick. But a few more that larger cities that I thought deserved to make the list. San Francisco, last 11 mayors, Democrats. January 7th, 1964, the last Republican mayor walked out the door. Chicago, great city. I've been there many times, and I've always had a tremendous amount of fun. I would say in the summer, it's probably my favorite city in the United States, top 3 at least. Anyway, having said that, Chicago is the most corrupt city in U.S. history. It's not even close. And it looks like outside of corruption, who knows? But it looks like you picked another winning mayor in this, Brandon Johnson. Anyway, the last 14 mayors in Chicago have been Democrats, and the last Republican walked out of City Hall in Chicago, a Republican, in 1931. Shreveport, Louisiana. It's the only city from either list to have elected a Republican following a Democratic mayor. So it's always like Democrat, and it just stays that. But Shreveport, kudos to you guys. You tried something different. Again, the importance of mayors and city councils cannot be overstated. Remember, all the stuff that you do in your house, it affects you, from the police to the fire to the sanitation. All of that is all done on a local level. It's not done outside of that. So, when you get everyone gets all worked up about this president being, but it rarely trickles down. I mean, the only real big one I would say is in the last X amount of years was Roe v. Wade. And then Roe v. Wade was, so 50% were happy whenever it was passed in the early 70s, I think. And then it got, turned around, last year. And now another 50% are pissed off, and the other 50, the other 50% are happy. But outside of something like Roe v. Wade, I mean, it's all money. It's all the federal government fucking does is spend. So, I mean, your mayors and city councils are by far more important. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this, and I appreciate you listening. Thank you.